Yeah, look, the Laken Riley Act is ultimately going to save lives. It is a common sense piece of legislation, and it actually puts the talk that we've been having over the last 4 years into action. Jake, there's been no more litigated issue over the last 4 years than President Biden and Vice President Harris's open border policies. It is my belief that the American people entered a verdict on that on November 5th, saying we are ready for secure borders. We want our streets and our communities to be safe and secure. And so Americans are ready for common sense solutions, and they're ready for us to stop talking and actually yield results. I'm encouraged by the number of Democrats that have come on board and those who have voiced their support for this piece of legislation. I think as we continue to debate this and talk about the merits of it this week, it'll garner more support. And as you know, Jake, it passed the House not once, but twice. Last year in last Congress, it passed with 37 Democrats supporting. This year, it had 48 Democrats supporting it. So it's a bipartisan piece of legislation that is 60% of the House. I expect it to get 60% or more in the Senate.
I'm sure there is wide consensus approval for deporting violent undocumented immigrants 100%. But what I've heard concerns expressed about is indefinitely detaining those who are merely suspected of committing nonviolent crimes, not formally charged. Is that not a concern?
Yeah, so Jake, this is actually charged, arrested, or convicted. And if you look at this, we have 11 million illegal immigrants in this nation. Of that, 7.8 million of those are actually in removal proceedings. Of the 7.8 that are in removal proceedings, Jake, 1.4 million of those have been given final orders of removal, meaning they have been given due process, and we have said it is time for you to leave. My question is, I've heard a number of things about the number of migrants that this would affect. I think more recently was said. My question is, I wonder how many of those who have created theft-related crimes are actually have already been given their final orders of removal. I've asked for those answers and certainly look forward to them. I think at the end of the day, if you don't commit a crime, the Laken Riley Act, you're not subject to it. So I think we should start there. I think Democrats have to wake up and realize that Americans are sick of excuses and they're ready for action. And as long as you don't commit a crime, this doesn't apply to you. And I think people would agree that if you do commit a crime, you should go to the front of the line when it comes to detention and removal. Of those numbers that I talked about, only 1% of illegal immigrants are actually being detained, less than 1% of those in removal proceedings.